From outer space, or from the furnaces of hell, come the weird, wacky, wild creations of the Roboteers. It's manufactured mayhem!
Let the wars begin!
Heat H for hot, hurly-burly, horrible hammering!
The only opponent we could find a fight against was a vacuum cleaner. And we beat it.
But who'll be cleaning up tonight on Robot Wars?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Master of Mayhem, Craig Charles.
Welcome to Robot Wars, the Seventh Wars. This is the result of 65 million years of evolution. At first, we hit each other with sticks. Then we hit each other with chunks of metal. But now, chunks of metal hit each other with everything they've got. And don't we just love it? They are a sophisticated lot. So, let the wars begin!
Oh, it looks dangerous out there tonight, Craig. In our first four-machine maul, the Seeds Ming Dienasty will be up against it from three newcomers to UK Robot Wars, each hoping to slice its way into history. Will Ming go in a flash? Then in our second battle, the FFF feel, full-on flippability factor. So grind those gears, gnash those teeth, and fight on!
From West Cranmore in Somerset and number 15 seed, Ming Dienasty.
The number 15 seeds fighting in their fifth Wars campaign.
Now, it's a bit different. Last few years, we've learned a few things. Smaller wheels this time, four-wheel drive, skid steer, with a very big drilling mechanism on the front here.
That
also,
looks evil, can I just say?
Pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Pretty fast, 3,000 RPM, self-riser as well. We don't quite know how it works, we haven't tried it yet, but we'll soon see, won't we?
Nobody ever tries their robots, but I suppose they're so big and so nasty that this is the only arena you can actually try them in. Is that correct?
Well, we did try a little bit, but the only opponent we could find a fight against was a vacuum cleaner. And we beat it.
I'm not surprised.
Four-wheel drive, self-righting with a large drill weapon now, very manoeuvrable and controllable, prone to fits of temper. That's Andrew, the driver, not the machine.
From Ossett in West Yorkshire, Metalis.
New machine for an experienced team.
And what is Metalis? What sort of a bot?
Well, it's a full body lifter and it's got a claw at the front for grabbing and then flinging.
Sounds pretty impressive.
Well, we try.
And I've noticed a little bit of a sieve, is that right?
Oh yeah, you just done cooking then?
Yeah, I was thinking of cooking.
You can borrow it later.
Yeah, when it's smashed up, I can have the cooking bit.
Definitely, yeah. If that falls off, it's yours.
A 1 metre wide, three-sided bulldozer flipper with a large shark fin on top, incorporating a second destructive weapon system, a Shremek sledgehammer-proof bodywork. No known weaknesses, they say.
From Capelle and Den Asschel in the Netherlands, Scraptosaur.
Once a semi-finalist in the Dutch Robot Wars.
What weaponry are you going to be using today?
We've got a full pressure flipper, which is capable of flipping 1,000 kilos, and a very fast robot.
Are you nervous?
Yes, very.
What are you nervous about?
Just hoping that we'll win and hope Scraptosaur doesn't really get too damaged.
A fast, controllable, self-righting machine, a survivor, the flipper CO2 power, but there's limited supply on board, so it needs to win quickly.
From Loughborough in Leicestershire, Ceros.
New to Robot Wars, I like the look of this one.
What weapons have you got? It's the first time in the wars for Ceros, is it?
It is, yeah. Full pressure, CO2, gas flipper. And it does flip.
You nervous then, Francis?
No, it was in the qualifiers, but fine now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You just want to get in the arena and fight now?
Yeah, that's right.
Two-wheel drive, high-pressure flipper, titanium-clad armour, built like a rhinoceros, pushing power, ability to self-right, high ground clearance though.
Roboteers, stand by.
Let's have a look at the teams in. Metalis there on the left. Colin's got the moustache. He's the captain. Ming Dienasty, Andrew Cottrell and his kids there on the right-hand side. And Scraptosaur from Holland on the left. Marian van der Meer is the captain. Ceros captained by Francis Smith driving too. In the arena for the house robots, Dead Metal with the circular saw blade and the pincers. And also Growler with the mighty jaws.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Ming Dienasty, the number 15 seeds. A little bit of trouble already, goodness me. Yes, there was trouble there. A mighty flip for the Emperor Ming. It was Ceros, I think, that got the flip in. Scraptosaur chasing away with Metalis. Ceros again gets a flick in on Metalis. Thrust over, good driving by Francis Smith. Ming Dienasty in terrible trouble. Metalis can't self-right. There's the seeded machine. So they're okay for the moment. Being pursued across the arena floor by Scraptosaur, the Dutch entry, flying the flag for Holland. The skull and crossbones. And a piratical gleam in the eye of Marian van der Meer, the captain, as they toss and torment Ming Dienasty. Metalis, you just saw the back of their team, in real trouble. Still upended. Ceros goes in with a little flick. Can't see any hope for Metalis, can you? Being counted out. Shame, you didn't see the crushing claw, really. Didn't see the flippability factor from Metalis. And they've drained away through the Robot Wars sieve to oblivion. Ming Dienasty could, well, follow here, and this would be another surprise. We've already had seeds tumbling in Robot Wars, the 7th Wars. Ceros comes in with a big flick from the high-pressure flipper. Andrew Cottrell, sons Oliver and Elliot, they've got work to do. Too late for Metalis coming into the fight now. And Growler has a word. Great across the arena floor, Growler. So quick. The quickest of the house robots over a short distance. Ming Dienasty now working hard to repair the damage of early on, but Scraptosaur and Ceros are in after the seeded machine. The pit is descending. They love the pit, don't they? Tremendous work from Ming Dienasty. I think it's too little too late. Ceros is in there with them. You're seeing there the Scraptosaur controls. Marian, a mechanical engineer, at those controls. Marian van der Meer against the likes of Francis Smith, of Ceros. Growler just releases Metalis for the moment. The beaten machine already counted out. Ah, there's the drill of Ming Dienasty. Well, they put in a good late effort, drilling away, not causing major peril on Scraptosaur. The time ticks down, so we know that Metalis, they're out, but the judges will decide who goes out with them and who survives.
Metalis pitted and out of the competition. The other three are going to go to the judges. They'll be looking at style, control, damage and aggression. While they're making up their mind, we'll go to the break. Join us after the break to see who goes through.
And after the judges give their thumbs up or down, we'll be flipping our way through our second battle of this heat before bringing you a very special event. The Crusher Cruncher. You've just joined us. We're waiting to see if number 15 seeds Ming Dienasty has survived the judge's decision on our first battle, as they were twisted and tormented by the likes of Ceros, mauling Metalis into definite submission. Did Ming do enough late on against Scraptosaur to also earn a judge's decision and survive?
And the judges have made their decision. They were looking at style, control, damage and aggression. It's a bit controversial, the 15th seed, Ming Dynasty, they go out. Scraptosaur and Ceros, they go through.
From East Kilbridge in Scotland, Revolution 3.
Fought and lost in round 1 of the 6th Wars.
We've seen our machine run, and we know what it can do, and we're just going to go out there and we'll show you what it can do.
Okay, it seems to be able to go upside down as well as the right wheel. Has it got any weapons?
A spinning disc at the front. It goes at 2,500 revs a minute, so...
That's a fast spinning disc.
I'll knock them up in the air.
Could do some damage.
12-mile-an-hour top speeds can pull a car, an 8-tooth spinning flywheel, an interchangeable scoop, hard aluminium polycarb polyprop body shell, has had lots of fights. It's lost most of them.
From St Agnes in Cornwall, St Agro.
Named after the patron saint of Roboteers.
What is this? It looks massive.
This is St Agro. It's a double-sided double flipper.
Double-sided double flipper. That sounds frightening.
Well, it means it can run both sides up and flip from both sides.
What on earth were the shirts? A double-sided double flipper, invertible, 40% of the robot is the weapon. That's good if it all works, but if it doesn't, what good is it?
From Tipton in the West Midlands, the Scrapper.
Newcomers, looks dapper, Scrapper.
So this is the Scrapper, and this is Andy and Lee. What does the Scrapper do then?
It's got a spinning disc, it's about 950 revs per minute, and we help to fetch some sides off, make some holes.
Nice one. What's it made out of? Plastic?
Polycarbonate, yeah.
That's pretty strong plastic.
It depends how thick it is though, it's like 6mm doubled up.
2-wheel drive, invertible with a 20-kilo spinning disc, ramming spikes, 6mm polycarb armour, mostly made of scrap. The scrap pile's where it could end up.
From Preston in Lancashire, Megahertz Limited.
Fighting in their 4th wars, trouble is they've never been out of the heats.
You are veterans to Robot Wars, aren't you?
We started in Series 2.
You started in Series 2, it's now War 7.
We're getting old.
You're getting old, but your robot's pretty new.
It's brand new this year.
So what have you got to give us this year?
It's got full gas bottle pressure on the ram. It's got 2 rams on it, and it should throw things out of the arena this year.
The keyboard's a CO2 full pressure flipper, so is the screen, which also acts as a Sremex, steel construction, polycarbon protection. Looks neat until we turn up the heat.
Roboteers, stand by.
Let's have a look at the teams. The Scrapper, Andrew Brown and Lee Shaw on the left, Megahertz, captained by Dave Lund on the right. Tony Lunt is with him, of course. St Agro, Terry Carlin is the captain on the left. Revolution 3, captained by Roger Webb, Gordon Anderson with him. So is Dead Metal for the house robots in the arena, the war zone. And Growler as well. Is his bark worse than his bite?
3, 2,
No.
1. Activate.
And off we go. I'm intrigued by Megahertz LT, the LT for laptop. Intrigued to see if it can do better, not on the evidence of that. That was a mighty blow from St Agro with the double-sided double flipper. Scrapping away out there. Revolution 3 and the Scrapper 2. Megahertz tumbled and rumbled by St Agro. Can they self-right now? We're seeing the Scrapper centre of the arena, spinning but not really causing any danger. Revolution 3 looks nippy and aggressive. Megahertz, to be honest, looks in a bit of trouble. Has the side spikes, the ramming spike at the back as well. I like the look of Revolution 3 at up to 12 miles an hour. Not quite the quickest. I like the look of St Agro with the double flipper as well. Trouble is with flippers, as I'm sure you know now, all you Roboteers out there, if they are powered by a CO2 bottle, the supply is limited. So is the life of the Scrapper. Gone. Andy Brown and Lee Shaw. And St Agro in underneath the Scrapper's ground clearance. And that was the end of that one. Almost looks as if it's grinning, doesn't it there, St Agro? Poor old Scrapper. So, from the evidence of what we've seen so far, St Agro is the strongest here. Who will go through with it? Megahertz. Ooh. well, hasn't got great RAM capability in that laptop. It's an Agro wedged into dead metal. The megahertz laptop has crashed, and it can't evade Growler. Suffering from some sort of virus, perhaps. And Growler hardly a mouse out there in the war zone. Revolution 3 and St. Agro for me. They don't want to cause each other any damage because they've done the hard work. Hang on a minute. Is Revolution 3 still moving? Is St. Agro's jaw locked open? The countdown will surely defeat megahertz, but there could be work to be done on St. Agro's weaponry and on Revolution 3. Megahertz out, the Scrapper already gone, so we have our second round teams through. Megahertz won't be there, so Growler can do his worst. Dog with a bone. Well, I'll put it on the floor flipper or the pit. The drop zone is another option. Pit, 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 they want. They're all gruesome, aren't they? They get the flipper! And megahertz, 91 kilos. A flying laptop. Ignominy in the end for megahertz. As dead metal comes in. Anyone who owns a laptop will be grimacing at this moment in time. With the screen and the keyboard. But it all got locked up. The memory was lost. And as for a byte, there's a megabyte from Growler. Back in the old laptop case. That did megahertz.
Well, Scrapper is turned to scrap metal. Megahertz laptop feels the pain. St. Agro and Revolution 3, they go marching on!
Confirmation then that megahertz and the Scrapper have been beaten. Revolution 3 and St. Agro go through to our second round in this Heat H of the 7th Wars. St. Agro will meet Scraptosaur. Revolution 3 will meet Ceros. That's after our next special event, Craig.
Well, before we crack on with the wars, as our roboteers are putting the final touches to their robots, it's time for tonight's special event. Now, this one is for robots with pincers. Oh, yes! It's time for the Crusher Cruncher!
Mantis.
They'll be praying their hydraulic crusher and lifter works. Duncan Champensley, Jonathan Liversedge and Chris Barber.
Pincer.
With a hydraulic crushing arm and a high centre of gravity.
Rocks.
The most experienced machine out there with a hydraulic crushing beak. They're the Rocks team, Colin, Carl and Jackie Sivers on the left, Steve Davis and Pincer on the right.
Roboteers, stand by.
And in the arena for the house robots, Cassius Chrome backing towards us. And Mr. Psycho. A real heavyweight
3,
pair.
2, 1. Activate.
All these machines, 100 kilos in weight for our Crusher Cruncher special event for you. A little bit of extra mechanical mayhem. Well, go on then, give us some. Rocks being pushed away. That's a good shove by Mantis. 750 watt motors out there. And Rocks between 1.5 place. Rocking away. Mr. Psycho's got a grip. If the hammer comes down, the arms of Rocks could be completely removed. It is actually a powerful crusher. and very manoeuvrable rocks, but not when you've got Mr. Psycho on your case. Mantis and Pincer, this looks like a good little duel out there. Pincer has moved the hydraulic crushing arm down, you'll see, and has got to grips with Mantis's spindly frame. That's a deathlock out there as the ref looks on. Mantis has huge lifting capability, and if it can lift Pincer up, we are told it will parade its victims before its peers like a true gladiator. Well, we'll wait, because Mantis is being burnt at the moment by Pincer, which looks the most durable of the machines, to be honest. Rock's had a rolling start. Mantis has survived the flames bodywork-wise, but what about the electronics? Because that, of course, is the key. They could have been cooked. And they are praying at the moment for survival, Mantis. Put away across the arena floor. 14 mile an hour top speeds. Quickest in this Crusher Cruncher. They're very close at the moment. Rocks just looks on as Pincer was slammed by Mantis. The pit is being released. Rocks thought about it. Whee! Mantis nearly went down the pit. Steering away right at the last moment. Are they out of control? Mantis? Pincer has a grip on Rocks again. The weaponry of Pincer is the most effective of the three. Oh, slicing through, cabling. Something popped, something else has popped in there. And the very innards of Rocks being surgically removed by Pincer's hydraulic crushing arm. The wheels are spinning for Rocks. It is moving slowly, but I'm not too sure whether the hydraulics for the weaponry will still be working. Mantis backs on. Whoa! A great spew of flame from the arena floor. And that's hydraulic fluid dripping away from the beak. So all three are now in peril. Look at the fluid dripping out. Can you see it? Dripping into flame. That's interesting. Go on, just nudge it over that flame a little bit. Dribble and drip away. Well, they're all locked together. The ref is looking on, ref pot, in the ref cam. Who's burning? Who's moving? Certainly flame underneath Pincer. In comes Cassius Crone with a little jab. Try and break it up, I think. Break, as the ref bot would call if it was a boxing match. So who's moving? Who do you think is still alive out there? Pincer? Too short. Mantis? There's a lift. Yep, there's movement in Mantis. Rocks has been unhealthy for a while. A little bit poorly for a while. Mantis. For me, it has to be Mantis then, as Cease's call, because they were still moving at the end. As the judges make a decision, let's have a look. Well, Rocks was slammed. A little nudge from the hammer onto the top of Mantis. Rocks in trouble again, and Pincer from that moment on never really got going. I think the hydraulic fluid was leaking. There was a major problem for Pincer, which left Mantis just moving at the end. For me, the winner, but I'm not the brains of Robot Wars, as I'm sure you've guessed by now. There you have Mantis right at the end, just doing enough, perhaps.
Wait, teammates. There you go. How do you think that went for you?
That was okay, I thought.
It was okay?
Yeah.
What did Rocks think? How did you think that went for you?
Well done.
Well, good. Well, good. Both of you are confident. The judges have made a decision based on style, control, damage and aggression, and they've gone for Mantis. Hey, you won something. The advantages of pincers, crushers over, say, flippers and spinners. Are there advantages?
Oh, well, we'd just like to be different, really. It's going to be a natural progression. You will see Mantis evolve.
It's good fun, though, isn't it, going up against other pinchers?
Yep.
You enjoyed that, didn't you?
Yeah.
It was well good, wasn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, please, let's hear it for the Crusher Crunch Up! join me after the break when we get on with the serious business of robot carnage here on Robot Wars.
Coming up, our second round battles. Two flippers first up, St. Agro and Scraptosaur. Will it be the Flying Dutchman to sail through? Then Revolution 3 take on Ceros, who take on just about anyone. Don't miss it. Before the break, we completed our second round lineup as St. Agro flipped its way through and Revolution in Robot Wars Evolution also survived. But from now on, look out for St. Agro.
Welcome back to Robot Wars and a heat with a brutally high standard of robot. There's 4 left. Whoever wins tonight is certainly going to have earned it.
This is how they line up in a moment. Ceros against Revolution 3, but first up, Scraptosaur and St. Agro, and Jane's in the pits with them.
St. Agro, you got through. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Now, tell me a little bit about the double flipper scenario. Why did you decide to put 2 flippers on, and how does it work?
Well, this is, as far as we know, this is the only double flipper that works in this way, and it works on 2 cantilevers. Ram comes out, moves forward, opens the flippers, both sides, which means that whichever way up we are, we can flip just as effectively.
Now, tell me a little bit about Scraptosaur and how he works. He is a flipper.
It is a flipper, a full pressure CO2 flipper. It has about 1,000 kilos lift on the tip of the flipper, and it goes about 25 kilometers an hour, so it's very fast.
St. Agro.
Bubble, bubble, loads of trouble from a double flipper. Terry and Benjamin Carlin, Michael Gambon there, tall between the two.
Scraptosaur.
From Holland, impressive in Dutch championships. Remember the limited CO2 supply though. From Marion van der Meer, Mario de Jong and Ross Hockley.
Roboteers, stand by.
In the arena for the house robots, Cassius Chrome. Little shimmy. Dancing and prancing. Sir Killalot. Winking and blinking and destroying.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
St. Agro has been one of the most impressive machines we've seen in Robot Wars, the 7th Wars, but we've also seen shocks and surprises. Scraptosaur, that's a good little onslaught, good little push. From the flipper, St. Agro double flip, can work both sides up, but at the end of the first round fight, the jaws seem to be wedged open. I wonder if that was a problem. We're seeing there Michael Gambon at the controls, 17 years of age, a student, loves his beach parties, loves his tennis. Love all out there. Doubt it. Scraptosaur away towards the pit release button. Now there, is that an early worry from Scraptosaur that their CO2 supply is diminishing, therefore they have to get it over and done with now? The rattling you can hear is the rattling sabres of Cassius Crow. St. Agro purposeful, just looking for a chance to get in under the ground clearance of Scraptosaur, 1 centimetre high that ground clearance. The flip of St. Agro was wasted. That one was better. Scraptosaur over. They'll try and self-right now using their flipper, but they were slow to do so. And that just left a momentary chance for the house robots to come in. Cassius Chrome punching away with the studded gloves. Shuffling across the arena floor. Looks mean. A lean, mean punching machine. Floats like a butterfly and stings like a midge. In the CPZ, Scraptosaur is no more. See what the ref thinks. Well, it was the rattling punching display by Cassius Chrome in the end that I think proved the undoing of Scraptosaur. Can't self-right because the CO2 ran out. We envisaged those problems right from the start of this heat. That's the view from Killalot. and that is the view of Killalot. Now previously he's used his lance to get into the gizzards of a fallen, stricken machine, hoist it high onto the flame spouts, down the pit perhaps as the Scraptosaur team look on. Marion and Mario and young Ross, spotter and support team member for them. And the drop zone. And the boy comes down. It smacks onto the underbelly of Scraptosaur, which withstood that slam. Can't self-right, we know. All over. Little push. Right-left combination from Cassius Crone. Little jab. Another one. Right hook. Down he goes. Scraptosaur. KO'd. A rueful glance. And there's our ringmaster.
Scraptosaur pays the price of failure in the war zone. Scraptosaur is scrap metal. St. Agro, they're through to the heat final! Scraptosaur, where do you think you went wrong there? I thought you were quite unlucky, actually.
Yes, I think we were doing well until CO2 power went a bit, and then they flipped us and we couldn't get back again.
Yeah, you couldn't self-right.
No.
Back to the drawing board?
Maybe size it up a bit, and then we'll be all right.
You'll be all right. All right, guys. Nice to see you here. Let's
Thank you
hear
very
it for
much.
Scraptosaur. St. Agro. Sounds like a place in Cornwall.
Yeah, St. Agnes.
And the Hawaiian shirts. Talk me through them.
We look silly. We're going to scare our opposition.
Blinded by the lights, sir.
Yeah, definitely.
Talk me through the fight.
They flipped us a few times. We sort of came out okay from it. We flipped them and they broke. It was just lucky, really.
Ladies and gentlemen, a great robot, a great team. Let's hear it, St. Agro.
St. Agro through to the Heat H final. They'll meet Ceros or Revolution 3, changing the pitch with the Revolution boys.
We're fighting Ceros.
Oh. That's interesting. He's having problems at the moment.
It is very
and
interesting.
We're hoping he's not going to get here.
Ceros is having a lot of problems, and we're not sure how severe those problems are.
Yes. I think we're going to go and help him out, actually.
Well, not anymore.
Or sabotage him, actually.
Here, Ceros, you got through the first round. This is round 2, and I heard you had a problem.
Yeah, we did. We had a solenoid go down. We don't really know why. It was all of a sudden, and we hadn't got much time to replace it. And it's one of those things that's fitted right in the base of the robot, which knocks your hands about when you're in a hurry. But we've done it, and we'll be okay now.
Revolution 3.
That nasty flywheel, the interchangeable scoop. Roger Webb and Gordon Anderson there.
Ceros.
That's the high pressure flipper, twin valved. Francis Smith there on the right. Driving, help design and build it with John Hart on the left.
Roboteers, stand by.
Marina for the house robot, Shunt. Sergeant Bash 2, two wily grizzled old veterans of Robot Wars.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Good even tussle this looks like. I'm going to get the ref bot involved this early, Revolution 3, but it's slammed onto the pit release. I hope this isn't over quickly because I was looking forward to a long and punishing battle here. Ceros backs away to try and get the flipper blade in underneath Revolution 3. Half a centimetre of ground clearance. What's happened to Revolution? It's flipped. What's happened to the controls? Something's gone wrong here. A grimace from Gordon Anderson. They've lost control. Whether or not there's a signal failure, I don't know, or the release has been pulled from the back of Revolution 3, a little cutout. But Ceros is coming in for the kill. This is disappointing. But not for Francis Smith and a very good-looking Ceros machine. There in the control booth now, Anna Hart, who helped build. Ceros. Poor old Revolution 3 never got going. But he's still trying to get some control. Roger Webb, supermarket manager. Oh, Dolly with the trolley. Sergeant Bash. Just pushed once again by Ceros. I said in the build-up, built like a rhinoceros, strong as a rhino, quick as a leopard out there at the moment, in for the kill, Ceros. Revolution 3 beaten. Oh, avoid the blade of Shunt. Or you could be endangered for later on. Ceros will fight later on, that's for sure, as Revolution is counted out. And the house robot flicked again. Disappointment for the Revolution 3 team, they never got going. What on earth happened? Oh, Shunt's unhappy, and Sergeant Bash goes for revenge. Eve. Oh. Tug of war. Ceros is winning it. Back to the CPZ for the Sergeant. Refbot gives a helping hand for Shunt. Now you've got to remember, when you take on one house robot, you take them all on. You take us all on. Sergeant, what are you doing with your driving skills? You've just let big build. I gave you a big build-up. You've let me down. Ceros is manoeuvring. The Sergeant, I mean, brute strength, but to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, the Sergeant hasn't got a lot up top. The flamethrower is flickering, but there's no one at home. Take away one of his stripes. Get him down to a corporal, a private. Back to the drill ground for the Sergeant, back to the drawing board for Revolution 3. Ceros hangs on, but lives to fight another day, as Shunt will dispose of Revolution 3 in the drop zone. Widescreen, digital stereo, surround sound, but smashed! Tee-hee for the TV. T-pieces. He liked it, so did we. The Revolution 3 strength didn't matter in the end, they were already beaten.
What a right royal ding-dong that was. Ceros, seriously good. The revolution has been quashed. Ceros, they go stampeding on! I don't know what to say.
Can I tell you a story?
Go on, tell me the story.
About 30 seconds before we went on to fight, we were talking to Team Cat, and we said the only thing that can go wrong is our link falls out. And she goes, that's it, it's going to fall out. And when we came up here, that's what happened.
It fell out almost straight away, didn't it?
First tap, we hadn't put it in properly. Total stupid mistake, our own fault.
Bad preparation?
Yes.
I mean, it's taken you, years, months, loads of money to build that robot, and then you don't put your link in properly?
Yeah, kissed it all the way in 10 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, Team Revolution! They wanted to be on the telly, and the telly ended up on them.
Yeah, it did.
In the drop zone, your robot.
Yep.
It's strong.
It is, yeah. But we would have liked more of a fight, obviously, but we didn't want them to get too hurt. So
is that why you took on the house robots?
Well, they started taking them on. How's that fair? They're dead.
But listen, have you not watched it on the telly? I know you're new to Robot Wars.
We're here for fun.
These have got memory chips. They've also got bigger brothers called Psycho and Sakillalot.
Oh, bring them on.
Pardon?
He'll take that one on as well, you know he will.
All right, then. Ladies and gentlemen, what a fantastic robot. Go hell for leather for Ceros.
This is the key.
That's the link. It's just like the key in a car.
That you need that to make the robot work. That fell out,
Yeah.
and you were paralysed at the side.
Completely paralysed. Just as a safety feature, the whole robot goes dead. And that's what happened.
Coming up, our heat finals, and Agro and Ceros standing toe-to-toe, wheel-to-wheel, flipper-to-flipper, muscles will tussle. And who will be left standing at the end? In our round 2 eliminators, St. Agro dumped the Dutchman Scraptosaur. The KO blow left him out for the count. And then Revolution conked out, and Ceros made the heat final.
Welcome back to Robot Wars, where just 2 robots remain. And having seen them fight so far, it's going to be a brutal heat final.
This for a place in the series semi-finals. St. Agro or Ceros will make it through.
St. Agro.
Very powerful, the high-pressure double flipper. The team, Terry and Benjamin Carlin and Michael Gambon in the middle.
Ceros.
Looks durable. Again has a high-pressure flipper. Francis Smith there in the middle, John Hart on the left and Anna Hart on the right.
Roboteers, stand by.
Matilda, the matriarch of Mayhem's in the arena for the heat final. And there too, Mr. Psycho.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Only one machine will make it through and keep on the path to the Mega Bucks prize available for the winners of Robot Wars, the 7th Wars. For the first time ever, a cash prize up for grabs for the winners. Ceros, in flipping, may well have been flipped by St. Agro. St. Agro overturning after getting another flip in. Can Ceros and Francis Smith self-right from there? St. Agro just looks on. Before flipping itself, Ceros self-rights. On the attack again against the St. Agro boys. Getting in underneath St. Agro's ground clearance. St. Agro can run both ways up, don't forget, it's invertible, which normally negates the power of another flipper. Unless the cutout can be loosened, unless the electronics can be loosened. Look at that! Standing, pirouetting together. St. Agro away. Ceros self-rights. This is tremendous stuff. Great control by the drivers to be able to self-right like that under pressure. But does it use up too much CO2 supply? St. Agro flicks. Ceros, on the brink of oblivion and disaster. On the brink of the pit. They need to get away from there. One shove and they're down. St. Agro flicks. Ceros, get out of there, get out of there. You're too close to the pit. They've left themselves here very vulnerable. St. Agro needs to get behind for a shove. Couldn't know. They were broadside on. And Ceros survives and St. Agro nearly went down. They are living very dangerously. Matilda's flywheel comes in. And look at the wheel of St. Agro. Ripped. Broken. Operating now really only on one wheel. Limping St. Agro. Ceros is upended once again. I honestly think it's going to come down to the machine that has the F at the end. The flippability factor. Oh, Anna looks on worried. St. Agro doesn't look as if it'll pass an MOT, but Ceros is gone here, I think. That's why Anna looked worried. And the team from St. Agnes in Cornwall are going to win this. St. Agro. Aggie, Aggie, Aggie. Oi, oi, oi. They cry down there. St. Agro the winners. Ceros beaten. St. Agro, the heat winners, go on to the series semi-final. A grin of victory, a yawning grin. And in the end, Francis Smith ran out of power and Ceros ran out of room and hope. Good old Matilda. You can count on her rear end in any sort of catastrophe. Matilda's pink bottom again rises to the top. Look at this. Boing! And out they went. Our splendid matriarch of mayhem, once again full of mischief.
opening battle. It was touch and go, but Ceros, they bite the dust. St Agro are through to the series semi-finals.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Unlucky. What went wrong?
I don't know really. We seemed to lose drive on one wheel.
You certainly did because you were just going to go round in a circle.
We were getting quite lucky because we were managing to get some hits on them. Almost got them in the pit on a flip.
Almost did. I thought you were going to pull it out of the ashes.
But then they hit the Matilda's flywheel and their wheel.
Yeah.
But then
disintegrated.
We got stuck up on the edge of the wall and she hit us and
you flew.
Yeah.
Because you were immobilised by then.
Yeah. Well, the first hit she did, I think, took out the gas. Yeah. So we couldn't do anything about that then.
Because if it had gone to the judges, you know, there was damage to both, and you could have got it there as well, but it wasn't to be.
It wasn't there.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Ceros. Luck or judgment?
Luck, definitely luck.
So, you're through to the series semi-finals. Are you going to keep wearing the shirts?
Oh, definitely. We need them. They're our lucky shirts.
Oh, can't you turn the contrast down on them or something like that? No.
We're going to scare off the opposition.
Talk me through the fight. Did you think you could win it for a start?
We thought we had a 50-50 chance, and we just got lucky. I think that was it.
Matilda did some damage to your wheel, though.
That wheel's going to be welded all night.
You're going to weld it? You haven't got replacement wheels or anything like that?
No, definitely not.
You're on a shoestring budget?
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys, you're through to the series semi-finals. I bet your heart was in your mouth during that fight, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Oh.
Congratulations, you've made it. Get working on the robot, get it fixed, get it running at full power, and let's see if you stand a chance. Ladies and gentlemen, please go hell for leather for St Agro! Get down to your garages and your electrical stores and build yourself a robot for Robot Wars. Bye-bye.
In our next heat, number 16 seed Storm 2 with the Rhino. We've a submarine, a tape machine and mayhem like you've never seen.
Celebrities being pointless next here on Challenge. Enough said. On Pick, prepare for some potty mouths giving it out to traffic officers in Road Wars.